Hello, you beautiful souls. I know I'm like 2 months late to this, but I just got out of the Super Mario Galaxy movie, and I gotta say, I absolutely loved it. Now, I had been putting off seeing this because I didn't really care for the first one, and it looked like the sequel was going to be the same slop shoved in my face. The reviews didn't help either. First movie got a 7.0 on IMDb, 46 on Metacritic, 59% on Rotten Tomatoes, and a 95% audience score. The sequel got worse scores in every category with a 6.3 on IMDb, 37 on Metascore, 42% on Rotten Tomatoes, and 88% audience score. And maybe that's why I liked it so much, because I went in with such low expectations. But I don't think that's the only reason. I truly believe that this movie was better than the original. And here's why. Obviously, there will be spoilers for both the Super Mario Bros. Movie and the Super Mario Galaxy movie, so go watch those movies before you continue. First off, they fixed everything that drove me nuts with the original. They finally just used the Mario score rather than just using popular 80s songs. I hated when they did that in the first one because it completely took me out of the movie. Don't get me wrong. I love 80s songs. I listen to them all the time. But when you put them in a Mario movie, it just feels misplaced. It's like, am I watching Mario or Guardians of the Galaxy? Both star Chris Pratt and have the same soundtrack. They also let Mario and Luigi share scenes together. I hated in the first one that they were separated for pretty much their entire duration when they were in the Mushroom Kingdom. I also felt like the pacing and story beats were much better. In the first movie, Mario and Luigi get separated, and then Mario just meets Toad, and then Toad just agrees to take Mario to Peach without even knowing anything about Mario. And then Princess Peach just decides to help train Mario because the plot has to happen. Stuff just happens in the first movie for the sake of it needing to happen, just so they can get to the next scene and the next Easter egg. That doesn't happen in the sequel. That could be because all the characters have already been established, except for Yoshi, but even so, all of the characters' motivations work towards the same goal. Peach and Toad are trying to find Rosalina. Mario, Luigi, and Yoshi are trying to keep things from falling apart in the Mushroom Kingdom. Bowser Jr. is searching for his dad. Bowser is trying to escape and reunites with his son, and this leads all their paths to converge throughout the movie, and I think that makes a huge difference. In the first movie, Mario and Luigi are trying to stop the flooding in New York, then they completely forget about that so Mario can search for Luigi. Peach is trying to recruit the Kong army, Bowser is slowly making his way to the Mushroom Kingdom, and Luigi is just taken captive and held prisoner the majority of the movie. The story and characters just feel so much more disconnected in the sequel than in the original. Maybe it wouldn't feel so disjointed if we met Donkey Kong earlier in the movie, like if they put 1 to 2 scenes of Donkey Kong fending off some invasion of the Koopas, or even talking with Cranky Kong about joining the fight to stop Bowser. I think that could help a lot, but keeping Mario and Luigi together throughout the whole sequel was such a great decision. They could have done something with them being apart in the first movie, but Luigi never gets to do anything. He's basically what Princess Peach used to be in the old games, just waiting to be rescued by Mario. I was a bit worried that adding Yoshi would throw off the chemistry with all the original characters, but then I started thinking about it and I realized that the core group of heroes, Mario, Luigi, Princess Peach, Toad, and Donkey Kong, never even all interact with each other. Luigi and Donkey Kong never share a scene together. In Luigi's mind, that's just some weird talking ape with a nice tie. Some fans may not have liked that they took out Donkey Kong and the rest of the Kongs, but honestly, I didn't mind. They feel so shoehorned in the first movie without even doing anything. Like if you take the mighty Kong army out of the first movie, the entire story is exactly the same. They make no impact on anything. That's why I didn't miss them in the sequel, because it's not like they really had an impact in the first movie. I also love that for this movie, we got to spend the entirety of it in the Mushroom World/Galaxy. The audience got to be completely immersed in the world without being taken out by 80s music and trips to New York. I know you needed the New York scenes in the first movie to establish where Mario and Luigi came from, but admit it, you forgot about Mario's family until I brought them up just now. There's no mention of them in the sequel, and no one even cares. I just want to talk about the animation in this film. It looks phenomenal. Like, oh my goodness. There is so much color and texture, and it's just so pretty to look at. From a purely animation standpoint, this might be the greatest animated movie ever. And what's amazing was they did it on half of the budget that Disney and Pixar films usually get. The Super Mario Brothers movie was made on a $100 million budget. The Super Mario Galaxy movie was made on a $110 million budget. Compare that with Hoppers, Zootopia 2, and Moana 2, which were made on $150 million budgets, or Elio, Elemental, and Wish, which were made for $200 million each. Kind of a waste of money, if you ask me. I thought the voice cast did a great job. Maybe I'm used to the voices, so it wasn't as jarring as in the first movie. Or maybe it's because Seth Rogen isn't trying to convince me that he's Donkey Kong when he clearly sounds like Seth Rogen. I don't mean to bash on Donkey Kong this whole video. I just feel like casting Seth Rogen was a terrible choice. Donkey Kong is an awesome character. In the games, Donkey Kong goes from Mario's first villain to a hero on his own adventures. And in the movie, none of that gets to happen. Donkey Kong's entire journey was just stupid. It could have been so much better. Back to the sequel, I loved Yoshi. He made the whole movie for me. He steals every scene he's in. I love all of the subtle blink and you miss it jokes. My personal favorite was this Goomba that's on this little platform that keeps going side to side, and he's trying to walk and cross to the other side, but he walks so slow that the platform starts moving back, and because he's a Goomba, he just goes side to side like he's just trapped there for oh, that was one of my favorite little jokes. I also loved Bowser's journey with his son. I thought they were going to turn Bowser good at the end, and I'm glad they didn't. I think they're going to save that for a future movie, which I think would be awesome. Speaking of future movies, they set up a whole Nintendo universe. Some people may have hated all of the cheap cameos, but I personally loved them. And honestly, I hope we get to see more. I'd love a Star Fox movie. I'd also love a Metroid Prime movie, an F-Zero movie, a Legend of Zelda movie, and I'd love to see Donkey Kong get his own spin-off. Get some adventures with Diddy Kong, if he's still allowed to be a character, and have him fight King K. Rool. And I think it would be freaking awesome if it all culminated in a Super Smash Bros. Movie. It would be like the Avengers of Nintendo. And it would be awesome. I thought the final battle was way better than the first movie. That could be because I wanted Mario and Bowser to battle on the bridge like they did in the first Super Mario Bros. Game. And so I was so disappointed that they didn't have that in the first one. So obviously, I was overjoyed when they put it in the sequel. And I love we get to see Dry Bowser. I love that we got to see more of Princess Peach's origin story. All in all, I feel like every character got to have their own special moment, and I feel like it actually contributed to the story. I love that this movie was made with so much love. You can tell because of all of the beautiful details that they put into it. There are so many moving parts in some of these sequences, and all of the little characters are doing things that they would do in their respective games. The writers and animators really did their research. Like, I forgot who Wart was. I had to look him up after the movie before I remembered that he was the final boss in Super Mario Bros. 2. The average viewer is not going to understand all of the references, and I don't think the creators really care. This is a movie made by fans for fans. And I think that's the best kind of movie. There are so many cool sequences in this film, but one of the most unique was the casino scene with Peach, Toad, Wart, and a brief cameo from Birdo. It just amazes me what we are able to do with animation now. Like the amazing camera angles and choreography of all the characters was just so fun to watch. I also love that they had the little 2D animation on Bowser Jr.'s monitor to coincide with what was really happening. It was just a nice touch to those who grew up with the original Super Mario Bros. Games. All in all, it was a really fun movie, not just for kids, but for kids at heart. If you haven't seen it on the big screen, let's go! It's so worth it for the beautiful and immersive experience. It's a Mario movie, so have fun and enjoy the ride.